Welcome everyone to one of the most exciting events we get to participate in, and that is the chartering of a brand new Rotary Club in East St. Louis, Illinois. We appreciate all of you who are able to attend in person, and we appreciate all of you who are joining us via the web. You have people all over the world who are here to celebrate with you. My name is Jill Petrozinski, and I am from the Rotary Club of O'Fallon, Illinois. I serve as the Club New Development Chair of Southern Illinois, which is part of District 6510. And I also serve as your zone coordinator, which is a fancy term that says I get to help new clubs establish. So this is a lot of fun for us to be here and celebrate. Unfortunately, Mayor Eastern will be unable to attend at the kickoff. He will be here before the celebration is complete. And we had asked him to share a few words. At the risk of speaking on behalf of the mayor, I'd like to tell you a little bit of how this club has evolved and so quickly. I had the pleasure of meeting Mayor Eastern in conjunction with the Mississippi River City and Towns Initiative, of which he is a member mayor focusing on efforts throughout the Mississippi corridor to try to improve the lives of our citizens from Minnesota to Louisiana, where 40% of our global food supply is impacted. Through that journey, he learned a little bit more about Rotary and reached out and said, Jill, I'd like to talk to you about Rotary and East St. Louis. I said, well, tell me more. And he said, you see, my citizens are in the process of a renaissance. They are taking back their community with pride, and they believe in themselves, and it's time the rest of the world believed in them as well. That got my attention. I said, well, what are you doing so far? And what he described were community service projects, citizens cleaning up the streets, helping the children, supporting each other, nurturing businesses to reestablish the pride in the community. And when he shared how many members agreed with him, I said, why don't we just start a Rotary Club? And here you are. That conversation happened in October of 2020. In November of 2020, we started holding informational meetings. This is the first time in the history of the new Rotary Club of East St. Louis, Illinois, that we have met in person. This entire journey has happened via Zoom, and it has changed the world, but it's also opened up opportunities, which is the theme for this Rotary year. So as we've opened up opportunities in East St. Louis, the journey quickly spread to other like-minded individuals that were in St. Louis, from St. Louis, and had relationships with those they loved in East St. Louis. And everyone agreed, this is time. We have a lot we can do, and together, through Rotary, we can have a lasting impact. Throughout the journey today, you will hear a little more of how historical this event is as Rotary comes full circle back to East St. Louis. You'll hear a little bit of the vision from the current leadership of the Rotary Club, and then we'll celebrate with some formalities and inductions. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And on behalf of Mayor Eastern, we'd like to invite the club secretary, Sarah Joshua, who in his absence will provide today's invocation. You see, each Rotary Club can choose the culture of what their club and club messaging looks like. And they have chosen that faith is an important part of this journey. Sarah?
Thank you, Jill, and thank you, Rotarians. It is so wonderful to see you all in person. I know COVID has made this a challenging experience for all of us to try to navigate how we're going to do these community service projects and not actually be in person with each other, building those relationships just yet. But I'm so excited to see you all and so grateful to everyone that's joining us via Facebook. So Jill did a perfect job of explaining the reason why the mayor was so interested in getting a Rotary Club to East St. Louis. He saw it as an opportunity to expand our community service efforts in an organization that has a wonderful foundation and that is known for backing the people in the community that are wanting to do work. And so from there, it has blossomed into chartering 32 members, which we never anticipated getting that many. We were just struggling and hoping to get 20. So we are stoked and excited. We've always known, even when he was running for office and where he is now, that East St. Louis is filled with amazing people that care about this city. And it has been his passion to do and explore whatever avenue possible to further that drive that our citizens have to take back this community and enter that Renaissance phase that Jill mentioned. With that, I am, as a Rotarian, super excited for the projects that we already have launching, the little library and the other things that Christina will mention later. Thank you all so much for coming. This is a wonderful start to something that I'm excited to see in the city. And I know other citizens, as they join on and see what we're doing, will be excited to see as well. East St. Louis has faced a lot of challenges, but we do truly feel that we are going into a Renaissance phase and that we are at the level of, okay, let's get started. Let's have our citizens out there with us, fighting side by side with the city to retake back our streets, our children, and every other avenue that we can nurture our community in. So with that being said, thank you all so much again for joining us, and I'll turn it back over to Christina.
Hello, everyone. So, in the tradition of East St. Louis, Illinois, when we say, good morning, everybody, then everybody responds, good morning. If we say, praise the Lord, everybody, then everybody responds, praise the Lord. Okay, so we are here this morning and we're really excited about this chartering celebration. So next up on our agenda is the history of Rotary in East St. Louis. This isn't the first time we've been here, but we're certainly about to make a mark this time. So I'd like to call on Tom, who is our district governor, our past district governor, to come on up and tell us a little bit about the history of Rotary in East St. Louis.
Thank you very much. So first of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to come today. And Rotary's had a rich, very rich history in East St. Louis. As many of you know, this was the economic hotspot in southern Illinois at one time. When the Sears store was here and the stockyards were running, people were here all the time. Collinsville Avenue was booming. And so I would share that with you. So I do want to talk a little bit about that history. And I want to talk a little bit about Paul Harris. So Paul Harris was a guy who was new to Chicago. Imagine coming to Chicago and trying to find some ethical business people. That was his whole purpose. So he found 3 of them, okay? So originally the idea was that the clubs would rotate their meetings from one member to the other. And as Rotary got bigger and bigger, they were unable to do that. But the name stuck. That's why we're called Rotary. So the first commercial project that they did, or community project, was a men's bathroom in downtown Chicago in 1907. The second club was on the other side of the country in San Francisco. We became international in 1910. Rotary is the largest service organization in the world. Rotary's foundation was founded the same year that Rotary was founded here in 1917. Our foundation is the engine that drives tremendous projects that we do around the world. A couple of examples of that we've been involved in the years I've been in Rotary is we put a moving dental van that went to remote villages to treat villagers who never got exposed to a dentist. Wells in Malawi, and I'm glad to see Dave's here. Dave and I have been in Malawi and have put in some wells and refurbished them. We put books in Belize, are just a few of the wonderful projects. It's phenomenal what Rotary does around the world, what clubs do each and every day. People join Rotary for lots of reasons, but they stay because of the friendship and the good work that we develop. So let's talk a little bit about East St. Louis. Our first organizational meeting was in 1916, and they held it over at the Country Club. It's kind of interesting, the Country Club's still there, same place. In order to be a member, you had to be a male, you had to be of good moral character, and you had to have the approval of members. And the idea was there was supposed to be all businessmen that were involved, and how you got selected was not only did the membership have to approve you, but also the general membership. And if there were 3 votes against you because you weren't ethical, you wouldn't get in. And so times have changed tremendously. So I want to talk a little bit about that whole operation. You had to either live in the area or you had to be within 5 miles. So that allowed folks Washington Park, Centerville, Sojay to be involved as well. So when they chartered in 1917, the club number, and I've got a copy of the charter over there, we were the 276th club in the world. We were sponsored by the St. Louis Club. It was number 11. It took them 7 years to get across that bridge. Can you imagine that? To share the idea of Rotary. Their first major project in East St. Louis, was they decided after the race riot that we need to have an impact in the African American community, and they donated $5,000 to start the Urban League. Just think about what $5,000 did then. You could buy a brand new house in East St. Louis for about $2,000. This is a huge undertaking they took on. Just to give you some other ideas, so one of the things that came out of that was we had 2 members, Nate McLean and Charlie Fox, I think was the other one, who served on the Committee of 100. And the Committee of 100 was designed to put in and to figure out the problems of the city and try to make this a better place to be. So they put 100 citizens on there. 2 of the Rotarians were involved in that. Just to give you some all male. We didn't put our first female in the Rotary, Bob Elder, who just passed away this last week. Elder Cadillac, you might have heard of that. But Bob nominated the first woman in, I think, the district as well as in our club, and that was Rosalie Cavatow. She later served as our president in 92 and 93. District 6510, which you will be a part of, which is Southern Illinois, just to give you an idea where it is, if you get on Route 50 and you keep going all the way to Indiana, everything to your right is in District 6510. Kind of an easy way to remember it. A couple of the dioceses, the Catholic and I think the Methodist, use that same road. So I don't know that they were original with that idea. Many of the Rotarians that lived in East St. Louis had international Rotarians stay at their house in 1963. So we had an International Convention of Rotary in 1963. So we were the first club in East St. Louis. The charter members, some interesting folks that served as charter members are, for example, Bruce Campbell, who was elected to the legislature in 1904 in Albany, and moved here in 1906. He then ran, years later, he ran for governor, and he lost to Henry Horner, who was served 2 terms all the way till 1940. It's interesting that Campbell had quite a reach. He had been a delegate from this area 4 times to the National Democratic Convention. He also served as the director of the, every time you watch the Kentucky Derby, he served as the director of that. Apparently he liked horses. He liked politics as well. So, again, one of the things, Ed Coffey, who was also a charter member, also was served on the police board after the race riot to see if we couldn't fix that problems they were having there. It was interesting that as Rotary came about, that 2 of our members were not born in the States. One of them was Charlie Fox. He was born in Canada. And the grand old man of East St. Louis was born in Scotland, Charles Rogers. Charles Rogers is a very interesting guy, as is several of others of these folks. I will share with you what Alan Spivey, you might have heard of him, the Spivey building. He was, when he came to East St. Louis, his pastor asked him, "Didn't you make a mistake coming to East St. Louis, Al?" He replied, "There's no other place in the world like East St. Louis." Still true today. Lots of opportunity. You're going to be part of that opportunity. Also, one of the other charter members was a guy by the name of Al Diamond. He was appointed as the food administrator for Illinois during World War I. He was a mover and shaker. Union Bank down the street here. Paul Shafley was born in Carlisle, Illinois. His dad started this bank. In 1904, the bank bailed out East St. Louis because they didn't have enough money to meet the payroll. No other banks would meet that. Paul's bank was also instrumental in extending State Street from 40th Street all the way out to Edgemont. Paul had a son, Paul Jr., whose nickname was Stump. I had an opportunity to meet him. He was a member of the Columbia Club, and he died in 2015. He said with great pride that his dad was a charter member. He was a Rotarian his whole life. He knew what Rotary did. So now we have a list of all the places they met. And I was so gratified this morning. The first place that they met was at 222 Collinsville Avenue. The building still stands. There was some restaurant in there. They met on Wednesday at noon, and that was their earliest location. They then moved over to the Broadview Hotel, and I was so happy to see that something's going on with that wonderful, grand old building. Let me tell you, some of the original investors were Charles Horner, Charles Rogers, and others. It cost $1.2 million to build it. It had 250 air-conditioned rooms. And it was the best hotel, probably south of Chicago. I don't think anyone else had a one there. And they stayed there. They stayed there approximately till about 1962. By the way, it has a very sad history. It got sold during the Depression for $35,000 on the courthouse steps. Tells you how desperate business was. Of the leaders that we had that were listed earlier, many of their businesses went under, but many survived. Some of them are still around to this day. They then moved from there to the Knights of Columbus on State Street. Later, they moved to the Stoplight Restaurant, which is located on 50 and Kings Highway, not the one you see today. They had one there that had the best fried chicken south of anywhere. I ate there as a kid and as an adult, actually. It burned down in the 70s, and we moved again. We moved then to the KC Hall that was off of Lebanon. In 1984, the club moved again to the Shrine and was there for many, many years. Because of declining membership, the club changed its name from the East St. Louis Rotary Club of East St. Louis to the to St. Clair County West in '87, and by '92, the membership was back over 100. Some interesting fundraisers that we did. They did a pancake breakfast here at the Shrine, at the Shriners Temple, and they developed. We had some really smart people in Rotary. We're problem solvers. And so what they decided, they figured out how to build this massive pancake machine. And what it did is you had one Rotarian pouring it in here, and then it went all the way around, so it's heated. It went all the way around, halfway around, a Rotarian flipped it. And when you got next to the pour, they took off. That machine is still there. It's too heavy to move, and it takes a lot of electricity, so it's still there. They had to gear it right, had to have the temperature right. Again, it hasn't been used since then. We started the Chili Day in 1964, and we did that at Assumption High School, and that continued until the school closed in the 70s. It got moved to the First United Presbyterian Church. My current club, the Belle Clark Club, is going to hold it again in '22. The reason we took that location is Bob Elder was the chair of it, and he happened to belong to the church. And I guess he talked to pastor, and if you want some contributions from me, you're going to need to do that. So, also in 1964, we started a program of providing scholarships to the 4 high schools that were located in East St. Louis. That would have been Lincoln, Eastside, Assumption, and St. Teresa's. That is a tradition that has continued to this day with my existing club. Rotary's been involved in youth. One of our original charter members, Ross Bolus, was one of the organizers of the Mississippi Valley Boy Scouts. His wife, Adie, was a Rotarian. That's what we call Rotarians, members that helped the Rotarians until '87 when they got in. But she was a Rotarian, and she was the first commander, our first commissioner of the Girl Scouts in East St. Louis. Salvation, we've done a lot of work over the years with Salvation Army. We helped fund that building that went up on 16th Street. Starting in 1947, Rotary started sponsoring exchange students, and our club and your club, the East St. Louis Club, was a big proponent of that and hosted lots of exchange students over the years. So we've got some tie to the youth as well. After the Hungarian Revolution in 1956 against the Soviets, Rotary was committed, or our club was committed to providing funding for the relief program because they were in trouble. Rotary International is committed to ending polio. We started in 1985, where there was over 285,000 new cases each year. And today, we have 2 wild cases reported, one each in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Rotary's come a long way during that journey to end this terrible disease. And you have to be my age to know what that looked like. And you had to go to those funerals that we got to go to. And so Rotary, with our partner organizations, has raised over $10 billion to end polio. We truly are this close. So I want to talk about the Rotarians who served above the club level. We've had 6 district governors. Bill Popkis, Ray Sonnenberg, you might have remembered him. He was instrumental in the YMCA. It was also, that was one of the Rotary projects as well. We built the YMCA up on the hill. Ed McLean Sr., who traces his roots back to his grandpa being a member of the club. Starting member Jim Cavatail, Mel Wythe, myself, and our current governor, Lorraine Cavatail. Bill Popkis is a very interesting guy. He served on 4 RI councils of legislation, which sets the rules for how Rotary operates. So you get the opportunity, if you think something needs to be changed in Rotary, your club could send something. And then it gets reviewed by the district and moves on. Also, pretty impressive, he was a sergeant at arms at the St. Louis International Convention in 1963. He's one of the youngest governors ever to serve. One of our deceased members, I'll share a story here. One of our deceased members, Steve Cease, shared a letter from one of his relatives where they went to England for an international meeting and on the Queen Mary. And on the way there and on the way back, they held Rotary meetings so that they could continue their tradition of having 100%. I encourage you to join the 20,000 plus Rotarians around the world that are going to be in Houston in June of 22. It's an event that you'll never forget. I can tell you my first international one was in 2005, the 100th year of Rotary, where 50,000 plus showed up. And my last Rotarian International Convention that was in person was the one in Hamburg, Germany. So they travel, every third one's in the United States. You joined a great organization. I look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Past District 6510 Governor Tom Ripperdat. You see, Rotary really never left East St. Louis, did it? Thank you again for sharing that important history. Normally, at this time, we invite our sitting district governor to present the official charter to the Charter Club president. Lorraine had to excuse herself. You'll be hearing a video from her shortly, but she has asked our incoming governor, Terry Mathias, from Southern Illinois, the Rotary Club of Jackson-Williamson County, to present the official club charter to President Christina. Terry?
Good morning, all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. This is one of the most important elements, events, activities that any club can go through. That chartering moment puts you on the map. You'll find out that district governors change from year to year. That's one of the uniquenesses of Rotary. The officers of clubs, districts, and even on up the line change virtually every year. Just a little bit of an addendum to Tom's message. 3 of those district governors from the late 50s to the early 70s were specifically from the previous Rotary Club of East St. Louis. The others were from the partner clubs that had developed from those. Just a little bit of a difference. Not much of a difference, the special part. For the benefit of our friends who are visiting us from a distance, I'm going to read the charter. You can always expect an English teacher to want to do that. This certifies that the Rotary Club of East St. Louis, Illinois, USA, having been duly organized and having agreed through its officers and members to be bound by the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International, which agreement is evidenced by the acceptance of this certificate, is now a duly admitted member of Rotary International and is entitled to all the rights and privileges of such membership. In witness thereof, the signatures of its officers, being duly authorized, are subscribed hereto this 22nd of February, 2021. That's your date. That's your special date. And it's signed by District Governor Lorraine Cavatayo, who you'll hear from in a bit, and the President of Rotary International himself, Holger Kanak. It is my great delight, on behalf of all of the clubs of District 6510, to present the charter to your first president, Christine. Thank you. We'll take a few pictures with everybody in the charter a little bit later in the day.
Thank you. District 6510 Governor-elect Terry Mathias and your new charter president of the Rotary Club of East St. Louis, Christina Anderson. I wanted to point out the significance of the date of this charter, February 22nd. On February 23rd, Rotary International entered into its 116th year of service to the communities and to the world. And with that, we'd like to share a brief message from our current governor, Lorraine Cavatayo, via video. For those in the audience, you might need to turn around. Thank you.
Good morning. Congratulations on your charter event as the new East St. Louis Club. I'm very excited for you and sorry I can't be with you today to not only congratulate you in person, but also to meet each of you and welcome you to Rotary. I know others will be with you to be able to do that, but I truly welcome all of you to Rotary and to this year's theme, which is Rotary Opens Opportunities. I hope for you and throughout the existence, I should say, of your club, that Rotary will forever open opportunities for each of you, as well as for your club and our district as a whole, with opportunities such as the chartering of your new club. I would say that Rotary, as some background for you, our creator, Paul Harris, said, if Rotary is to realize its proper destiny, it must be evolutionary at times and revolutionary on occasions. And our current RI president, Holger Kanak, said, to be prepared for the future, Rotary must continue to be revolutionary. And revolutionary means to change and to consistently change. That's what your club did. It became a new club. It's changed the area in East St. Louis to be able to have a Rotary Club there and to show the community that we care and to serve our community, to help it grow and change through everything that we've seen in the past year and will continue to see throughout time. Rotary's vision also speaks to our time, as it says, together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. So we are very excited to welcome you to be part of our world and together to help us to make a lasting change across your community, your club, the district, and the world. Welcome to Rotary, and thank you.
As Tom mentioned earlier, the origin of Rotary on this side of the Mississippi started from the St. Louis Rotary Club. All of our Rotary clubs started by another Rotary club believing in our communities and the opportunities that we could build upon the idea of service. And we would like to invite your sponsoring Rotary Club President, Tanya Hawkins, from the Rotary Club of O'Fallon, Illinois, who is the sponsoring Rotary Club for your new charter. Tanya?
Hello, everyone. I just want to say greetings from the Rotary Club of O'Fallon.
We were chartered May the 25th, 1925, so we don't look too bad for over 90 years old. I'll tell you that as someone who is in the younger demographic of my club, it has been incredible. I have learned that we are a huge community, and it's not just within your club. Most people join Rotary for what we do locally, but then as you get to know Rotary, you begin to see the impact both throughout your region as well as throughout the world. It will enrich your lives as well as the lives of those around you. My family has they are just amazed by the amount of things that we get to do. I grew up in a small town in Alabama, and it's probably one of the poorest towns in Alabama. But we had a Rotary Club there, and that Rotary Club believed in me and sponsored me to go and do something. And then they invited me to come and speak about my experience at that event. And what an incredible thing to have a Rotarian believe in you. And then some 30-something years later, to have a Rotarian invite you to a meeting and then invite you to join a club. It is the greatest compliment you can give anyone. We are honored to be able to help you with your getting this going, and if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Tanya, from the Rotary Club of O'Fallon. And now we're going to hear from your Charter Club President. Christina Anderson was recommended as a leader of this club. Like many of us, she has a very full plate, personally, professionally, family obligations, and already an active volunteer. But she believes in the city of East St. Louis, and I cannot think of a better leader to lead you through this charter year and into the upcoming year than Ms. Christina Anderson. Please.
Hello again, everyone, and thank you, Tanya, from the O'Fallon Rotary Club. As I was mentioning earlier, I am from East St. Louis and O'Fallon. That's actually where I graduated from high school. So my parents live in O'Fallon, so O'Fallon has a very special place in my heart. So it is kismet that the club that's sponsoring us is the club from the city of O'Fallon, which has given a lot to me personally in my life. So thank you to the Rotary Club from O'Fallon, Illinois, and all of its wonderful members for standing alongside of us in East St. Louis in the sponsorship of this club. As Jill stated, my name is Christina Anderson, and I am first and foremost the wife of Christopher Anderson, whom I love deeply and am honored to walk this life's path with. I am the mother of Julian and Preston Anderson, who are 12 and 11-year-old wonderful boys who have a brilliant future ahead of them and are right along mommy's side every time we do something to serve the community. I am honored to be a member of Jack and Jill of St. Clair County, where I serve as the program director, and we spend our time as a group of mothers putting on programming for our children in order to enrich their lives. I am a board member for the East Belleville YMCA, and as you guys know, the YMCA is dedicated to all sorts of things in the lives of young people and the lives of people who are just members of the community and looking to have a more fit and active lifestyle. But when the mayor contacted me about serving the citizens of the city of Champions, it was without hesitation that I said, how can I help? My family is from East St. Louis, both sides of my family. It was the city of Champions that bred us, that fed us, that taught us, and that kept us. It was the City of Champions where I went to school for the first time, where my grandfather was the vice principal of the vocation school, and my grandmother was the first African-American woman in the city to get her PhD and was a teacher at Miles Davis Elementary School, where I went to kindergarten. It was the City of Champions where I was able to go to African dance class and learn about my culture and learn about Catherine Dunham and the wonderful things that she did, who was also from East St. Louis, Illinois. It was the City of Champions where we learned to swim and to play tennis and to have wonderful experiences as children. So when East St. Louis needs us, we're here to serve. So I am humbled to be chosen as the charter president for this Rotary Club. In the spirit of Frederick Douglass, who said, "I prayed for 20 years, but received no answer until I prayed with my legs." We too have prayed for our city. We too have protested. We have cried out for help. And sometimes it seemed that we received no answer. Some have left the city because it seems that we received no answer for those heartfelt prayers. We moved away in the search of warmer suns because it seemed that we could find no solace. But the answer came when we began praying with our what? Our legs. Our legs. It is time for us to stop relying on the Calvary to come in and save us. It is time for us to become our own Calvary and save ourselves. How do we pray with our legs, you ask? Well, the first step is making the decision to make a difference. And that's something that every member of this club has already done. The second step is joining up with like-minded individuals and getting to work. This Rotary Club is a group of like-minded individuals. Everyone in this club has been working on these issues for years. So I salute the work that you have already done in your respective organizations, in your personal time, the work that you've already done with your families, the work that you've already done with your churches and with your social groups. You've been working to enhance the lives of the City of Champions for generations now, and we honor that work that you've already done. We are now coming together under the banner of Rotary to promote the work to a wider network of like-minded individuals, because we need all hands on deck to expand opportunity for the citizens of East St. Louis, Illinois. The work that we are gathered to do will not be easy, but it is necessary so that the people of this city have a safe, clean, economically viable, and fit place to call home. We are a group of citizens with ties to the City of Champions that have sought to unite to help fuel the renaissance of our beloved city. Our 4 pillars of service are advancing literacy in our children, violence prevention and de-escalation, job readiness and workforce development, and finally, beautification. If these issues resonate with you, join us. If you have a desire to serve this city, regardless if you live in the city, if you live across the country and have ties to the city, join us. If you know how to help folks write a resume or practice interviewing skills so that they can find meaningful, viable employment, so that they can work a job where they have the dignity of work and they can earn a living wage, join us. If you have time to read to children, if you enjoy children, Or if you even have time to read to an adult who doesn't want to admit that they need a little additional help with literacy and education, join us in the work. If you can donate a book, we need your books. Join us. If you can help our young men and women learn techniques to settle their disagreements before they erupt or before they turn dangerous, join us. If you are a therapist, a counselor, a social worker, a parent, someone that has the heart to serve, an educator, join us. If you have a broom, if you have a rake, if you have work gloves, if you have a shovel, a chainsaw, and some time on your hands, join us. Even if you no longer live in the area, and I say that specifically because we have East St. Louis since all across this great nation. I personally have relatives on all four corners of this country. Join us because you have a desire to serve your hometown. You have a desire to serve the place that birthed you. Please join us. Ladies and gentlemen, those that are with us in person and those that are streaming live on the city's Facebook page and on our Rotarians Club Facebook page. The Rotarians are here, and we are here to work. Thank you.
Any doubt that the right individual was chosen to serve as this club's first president? Well done, Christina. In a tradition of solidarity, the Rotary clubs in our district often would like to support new clubs with gifts. We know that chartering a new club comes with some limitations, and part of that is financial, and part of that is resources. So if you're here representing your Rotary Club, we ask that each one of you form a line, and we would like to just ask you to share what club you're here representing. And then, Christina, if you could, on behalf of the club, accept their gifts, that would be great. All right, we'll start with the Rotary Club of Fairview Heights. Would you first? Okay, come on. Thanks.
First of all, I'm Catherine Stoltz. I am with the Fairview Heights Rotary Club, and I'm a pretty new member. I've only been with Rotary for a couple of months. Anyway, thank you so much for those wonderful, wonderful words. I'm inspired by you. So, on behalf of the Fairview Heights Rotary Club, we would like to make a donation toward your success. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have two from some of the folks down our way in Carbondale area. First, the Carbondale Noon Club, which is celebrating its centennial, has just sponsored a satellite club in the city of Murfreesboro. They have provided to you a cash contribution. I believe that they did this in the form of that card that you were looking for Menards. And they knew that in fact you'd be involved in a lot of different service projects. So they are starting to provide for you some of the safety vests that will keep you safe out there. That's from the Carbondale Noon Club. There you go.
Thank you.
Now from my club, the Jackson-Williamson County Sunset Club, and especially from my wife and I, Linda is a long-term librarian, library director, and church administrator. We are providing a little bit of assistance along the lines of helping with the book project. That also is a little something for the Menards portion of it.
Thank you.
And Christine Christine got a little bit earlier today some of the books that I happened to spot just yesterday, saying, this is a good opportunity.
Thank you.
Boy, it's tricky wearing these masks and wearing cute earrings at the same time, isn't it? So, hello, Christina. Hello to the club, the newly formed club of East St. Louis. My name is Amy Allen. I'm with the Flora Rotary Club in Illinois. I am also your 6510 district membership chair. So this is super exciting to be able to come to my first chartering celebration since I've taken on that role in volunteering with Rotary at the district level. So I'm very excited to present to you a small donation from the Flora Rotary Club, and then also some really cool, I love pins, so it's some really cool big old pins for you guys to wear when you're out doing your service projects that say, you know, something like, ask me about Rotary, and so hopefully that'll, give you something to wear so that others will, not be afraid to go ahead and ask them, like, what are you guys doing? That's the biggest question I always get is, what is Rotary? Never heard of Rotary. So please tell your story each and every day, all the time, especially when you're out and about, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Please tell me if there's anything I can do for you.
My name is Mark Schmitz. I'm the president of the Belle Claire Rotary Club. We are very fortunate that our speaker for our third meeting in the month of April has already been engaged. There she is right now. She's already agreed to come and speak with our club, and I can't wait for them to hear your message. We are going to make a cash donation. We have all kinds of Belle Claire Rotary swag for you, and I'm going to hold that and give that to you in front of all of our members when you speak in April in about 3 weeks, and I'm looking forward to it. I wish you the best of luck, and I look forward to our partnering opportunities between our two clubs. It's going to be wonderful.
Thank you. And in addition, there was financial support from the sponsoring club, the Rotary Club of O'Fallon, as well as Rotary District 6510. And then my personal gift, do you want a model? Oh, because they will be out and about. We want you to be visible in your community and let people see what you're doing. So thank you for all of the clubs who support this wonderful new club. So now we have some formalities. We're going to start with the formal induction of your president, followed by your officers, and then all of the members that are available in attendance. So Christina, what I would like to ask of you, if you don't mind, I would like to have you stand before me facing your club as I stand behind you in support. Yeah? You can be right, that's all right, you can block my camera, that's perfect, that's what I wanted.
Got it.
So, I'll just ask you to repeat after me, the oath of the president. I, Christina, do solemnly pledge that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the Rotary Club of East St. Louis, and that I will, to the best of my ability, support the district governor and Rotary International, and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club. Congratulations, President Christina Anderson. And if I could also ask those that are in attendance who are serving as a officer and committee chair of your club to please come on up. Come on, Patrice. And we'll do the same thing. I'm behind all of you. You guys, you are the stars, so I'll let you stand up in front.
Wrong shirt, girl.
All right.
Just get in the middle.
These are your leaders. So again, if you could just repeat after me. I, state your name.
I, not say the Lord.
Thank you for not saying state your name. do solemnly pledge that I will fulfill the duties of my office in the Rotary Club of East St. Louis to the best of my ability. That I will support the club president and will abide by our club's constitution and bylaws. Congratulations to the officers of the Rotary Club of East St. Louis. And in your program, you will also see some of the key roles. You will meet all of them shortly. Now, if you are a club member in attendance, I ask all of you to stand, and if you have not picked up your new club packet, there are some folders over on the table. We ask that you grab that because you're gonna need it. And actually, if you, I think we're all masked and safe, so if you guys want to just kind of grab your packet and then stand up here, that'll be good, then everybody can see it. All right, now I really want you to stand up here in front, guys. All right. So today you've heard a little bit of what you're part of. The most important thing is this story is yet to be written because the impact that you will have in your community and in the world. Rotary is an international organization of business and professional people with Rotary clubs in more than 200 countries and over 1.2 million members. When one joins Rotary, he or she becomes part of a worldwide fraternity. You can travel throughout most of the world and find a Rotary club within easy distance. Rotarians will welcome you warmly, even though the language may be different, the food may be a little unusual, and the location far from home. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage and foster, first, the development opportunity for service. Second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying by each Rotarian of his or her occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service by every Rotarian to his or her personal, business, and community life. And fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. Rotarians, I charge you to judge yourselves by the Rotary four-way test of the things that you think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? You have a lot to learn about Rotary. It's not just another club, it's a way of life. But you were elected to membership because we felt that you would fit into this way of life. You will be expected to engage with your members in service projects and as many meetings as your schedule allows. We encourage you to share this opportunity of your club with others you know, to continue to grow the club, to be able to provide more service to your community. It's important to be an active member of this club. And always remember Rotary's motto, service above self. Rotary's like everything else. You get out of it what you put into it. So congratulations to the members of the East St. Louis Rotary Club. You are at this very moment the newest Rotarians in the world. So in your folders, you will find some information, and hiding in the right side pocket, kind of down there, is a Rotary magnet pin. and it is a special commemorative charter member pin. No one else in this Rotary Club will ever wear a pin like this. You are special, you are unique, and you are the first of many to follow. So as I read the vision statement that Governor Lorraine referenced in her video, I ask that you take this to heart as you wear your pin proudly from this point forward in society. The vision of Rotary International. Together, we see a world where people unite and they take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and what you will find in ourselves. Congratulations to the Rotary Club of East St. Louis. Thank you all for attending our charter celebration today, and we ask you to go forward in service and support. Well done.
I think I've got the pin on correctly. I just wanted to say quickly, thank you to everyone who has attended on today, both virtually and in person. We had some people drive some great distances to be with us, so thank you. And once again, our hearts are very, very full this morning, and we of course are grateful to the O'Fallon Rotary Club for helping us make all of this possible. Mayor Robert Eastern has just joined us, and this club was his initial vision, as Jill shared the story earlier. So we would be remiss if our mayor did not show the citizens himself and tell a little bit about his vision for Rotary Club. So Mayor, if you could close us out today and give a few words, that'd be great.
Thank you. I gotta catch my breath, man. I've been running all morning. Good morning. First of all, I'm super excited about today for the Rotary Club to actually be here finally in East St. Louis. You know, this has been a vision of mine since I met Jill and started getting introduced to the Rotary Club at the MRCTI initiatives. And from that, it was a spark. It's like, hey, we need to get involved. We need to make sure that we do everything we can to get the Rotary Club back here in the East St. Louis. You know, so to have people to be another voice for East St. Louis, to let the outside community know, hey, we can do business here in East St. Louis. There's a new paradigm that's getting shifted here in East St. Louis, and it's going to take more than just the people in East St. Louis to help get that done. So I'm very excited about today and all the efforts that everybody's put into this, you know, to get up to this point, and all the work that we're going to be doing here in the future. So, man, I'm taken back a little bit because, like I said, I've been running all morning, and I'm still trying to catch my breath. You know, that COVID, man, did a terrible thing to my lungs and my belly. So, you know, he gained 20 pounds, you know, being in COVID. You know, didn't have anything to do with it. So, but it's okay. You know, I'm excited about getting out here and rolling up our sleeves and getting it done. You know, and having a Rotary Club here in the City of Champions. You know, we are labeled the City of Champions because champions always find a way to get it done. So having the Rotary Club here with East St. Louis is just another wheel here to help move that engine, or to move that train car, if you will, you know, down that tracks of success and where we're trying to go here in East St. Louis. So again, I appreciate each and every one of you, those that are watching, those that are here, and those that want to be a part of the Rotary Club. It's for real. Come join us. Be a part of East St. Louis. Be a part of the change. Don't sit on the sideline. It's time to get in the game. So thank you for all for being here, and thank you for allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Again, thank you. There's some light refreshments in the hallway, and we'd love to take some pictures afterwards, so join us. Have a wonderful morning, everyone.